There is something happening in this very moment that goes far beyond what your eyes can see or what your rational mind has been trained to measure. And I need you to slow everything down right now. Because what is unfolding in the space between these words and your spirit is not an accident. It is not a coincidence. It is not the random collision of digital content and a wandering thumb that happened to pause here. No. Something older and more deliberate than that brought you to this precise second, this precise breath, this precise threshold. And if you can feel even the faintest pull in your chest telling you that this matters, then I am asking you to honor that pull, to lean into it, to refuse the impulse to scroll past what your soul already knows it needs. Because what is being said here was prepared for you before you even woke up this morning, before you picked up your phone, before you carried the invisible weight of everything you have been carrying into another ordinary day that is actually anything but ordinary. Type 555 in the comments right now if you feel that this moment belongs to you. There is a weight that a certain kind of person carries, and it is the kind that does not announce itself loudly. It does not collapse you dramatically in the middle of a crowd. Instead, it sits in the hollows of your chest during the quiet hours. It rises in the early morning before the rest of the world opens its eyes, and it speaks in a language that has no clean translation, only a low, persistent ache that knows exactly where all the tender places are. And you have been carrying that weight with a kind of grace that you yourself do not recognize as grace. You have called it coping. You have called it getting through. You have called it doing what you have to do. But I want to offer you a different name for it today. Because from a perspective wider than your own momentary vantage point, what you have been doing looks like extraordinary faithfulness. What you have been doing looks like a person who refused to let go of something worth holding even when every muscle in them screamed to release it. And that kind of endurance is not small. That kind of endurance is the very thing that great turning points in human history have been built upon. Drop an amen in the comments if you know exactly what that weight feels like. You have smiled when your heart was not smiling. And I do not mean that as an indictment. I mean it as a testimony. Because the ability to show up for the people around you, even when your own interior world is turbulent, is a form of love that demands a strength most people never develop. You developed it. You carried others while quietly wondering who was carrying you. You stayed steady at the surface while deep currents were churning underneath. And here is what I want you to understand about that season of hidden labor. It was not wasted. Not a single hour of it was wasted. Every night you lay awake in the dark running calculations you could not solve. Every morning you rose and chose to move forward, despite the arithmetic of your situation refusing to add up in your favor. Every moment you held your tongue when